Don't miss any of the action at Oceanside, Chula Vista, Torrey Pines, and many more San Diego schools. Download the free UT Preps app on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Welcome back inside Canyonside Baseball and Softball Academy for the San Diego Prep Insider Baseball Podcast. Tommy, David, and Christian here to talk a little bit of hardball. We've got some game balls we got to give out, our top 10. We got an interview with Julian Escobedo of East Lake. He gave us a little more information than we thought we were going to get. This is really interesting. You got to stick around and watch it. And then we'll do our fair or foul, and then we'll name the top first baseman that we think in San Diego. Starting with the game ball. David, starting with you. What game balls do you have for this week?
All right. Trevin Esquera, Patrick Henry. 24 for 47 this year. He's hitting 500, which is pretty ridiculous at this point in the season. He's leading Patrick Henry in the league play this year. There's 2-0 so far, which is pretty cool for them. And he's got that number 24. That's third in the county in hits. So good for him. Tyler Hawk, Patrick Henry, 19 for 49, 388 average. Pretty hot. Preston Price, Cathedral Catholic. He is 3-1 this year with a 2.74 ERA. Last week he threw 7 shutout versus Granite Hills. That's quite a feat.
That's not easy to do.
No,
that's not easy to do at all.
Sure. Josh Sidney over at Torrey Pines. This kid is 5-0 with a .18. Let me say that again. .18 ERA this season.
That's like a typo. That's not even. That's unreal. That's
here we are thinking a 2 point something is good. No, thank you.
39 Ks, 33 innings. You'll hear about him more this season. Michael Jarvis, Claremont. He is number 4 in the league in hits this year. He's got a .407 average and 5 home runs in 16 games. And out of that number, is most impressive, I think he's only got 4 strikeouts. So he's got power and hardly any strikeouts. Pretty impressive. Last 2 guys, Sammy Tomp, junior catcher at Sarah. He went 2 for 3 against San Diego High last week with an RBI. And Aaron Pauly at Maranatha. He's hitting .378 with 11 RBIs. He committed to Westmont College within the last month here. Congrats to you, bro.
Christian, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to go with my first one. Harrison Humberstone of Sage Creek threw a 6-inning, 1-hit affair against Rancho Buena Vista, shutting them down. It's a big win there for a young team, young school, looking to make a name for themselves.
That's first year varsity.
Yes. Well, next one goes to Matai Bala from Oceanside.
Great last name.
Great last name. And he is also a great baseball player. Threw 1 run, 6 innings against Oceanside. Also got out there, got some RBIs. He loves seeing a pitcher help himself out at the dish.
If you're watching Christian's highlights, you obviously already knew that, right, guys?
Yes.
And watch Christian's highlights. Free plug there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then Jose Cerda from Montgomery. Kid, it was another pitcher who helps himself out of the dish after throwing a nice little gem. He complete game shutout against Santa Fe Christian. Went and did a little yard work in his first at bat of the game. So those are my recipients of the game balls.
I mean, in that game he could have been the only player on the team that would have won, right? Did he shut him out?
Yes, but I will say that he needed the help of his defense.
Okay.
And he got some great diving catches, and he's not a strikeout machine because he's a team player.
Team player there. Team players. Speaking of teams, our top 10. I'll give mine first, and Dave, you can give. You are starting at number 10. I got the Islanders of Coronado. Number 9, Santana, who according to Max Preps is number 1, but we'll see. We'll see how that ends up at the end of the year. 8 is Carlsbad. 7, Torrey Pines. 6, Granite Hills. 5, Vista. 4, Cathedral. 3, LCC. 2, East Lake. And even though they've already lost this week, I'm going to keep it number 1, Rancho Bernardo.
All right. Top 10 for me. RB is back at number 1 for me. I got LCC at number 2. Granite Hills, number 3. East Lake, number 4, Cathedral, number 5, Vista 6, St. Augustine at 7, and rounding out the last 3, Torrey Pines at 8, Santana at 9, and Carlsbad at 10.
All right, so those are our top 10. Again, you can always tweet at us, give us your version of your top 10 and tell us what we got wrong and all that kind of stuff. But before we get to our fair or foul and our top first baseman, we got to bring in Julian Escobedo from East Lake. He's going to San Diego State next year.
Let's go ahead and just right off the bat, thank you very much for joining us. Tell us why San Diego State?
I mean, it was a great selection for me and my family. Being scouted from them since my sophomore year, it's always been really humbling experience, especially because they treated me like family. And being in the locker room with Tony Gwynn, before he passed away, was something emotional, and it really brought me to be an SDSU baseball player.
So you mentioned staying here in San Diego. What's so important to you about representing San Diego at the high school and then college level?
Being born here in San Diego and always working to get better as a baseball player in general. As a San Diegan, I think it'd just be really good overall to grow up from the San Diego grounds and be a baseball player that I can show to everybody that I am.
All right. What's your most memorable baseball moment, Julian?
Overall, my most memorable moment would have to just be getting out on the field every single day, just working hard, especially with the team and your family. Every win is really memorable, but just competing out there every single day, and it's a grind out there. But that's my most memorable probably experience, just out on the baseball field working hard.
So it's high school, so you're gonna have other memorable moments not on the field. One of the biggest ones for a high school kid, prom, is coming up. So have you asked anyone yet? And if so, how did you do it? Let us in on the details.
Yeah, sure. It's actually funny. Just a couple of days ago, I went to Disneyland for me and my girlfriend's 1 year, McKenna Cash. That's her name, by the way. During Disneyland, we went on this Monsters Inc. ride, and I had a poster for the whole day, trying to hide it from her. And on the poster it said, "Hey Boo, will you be my prom date?" And she obviously said yes, and I guess I got a prom date.
Wow, that's an impressive ask. I mean, that's better than the text message I sent to my prom day back in high school. It was a nice text message though, not so much the Monsters Inc. ride. McKenna, thank you for letting us borrow Julian for a couple minutes to interview him, and she picked well, right? I mean, is that further lengths than you think you would have gone, or I don't.
I would have gone to hell and back if anyone would have gone with me, but nobody loves pitchers.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Nothing you can do about it. So moving on to our fair or foul segment.
Let's do it.
First fair or foul, guys. Dave, we'll start with you. It is important to have a deep bench in high school baseball to be successful.
I'm going to say foul on that one. I definitely want 9 smart players out there, and if I can find 9 guys, and I'm going to stick with those 9 guys. Yeah, I need a few bench guys here and there, but I'm going to go with the 9 guys that I have and probably play those guys pretty consistent.
Christian, what do you think?
Man, this one was a tough one for me to decide on, because I totally agree with you that what the focus really should be is getting 9 solid, good players to play together. But my MO as a coach is I need that bench because I need healthy kids. And I don't necessarily need kids coming off, hitting pinch hit home runs, coming out of the bullpen throwing really well. I just need players to help keep my 9 starters healthy and energetic all season long. And sometimes that's as simple as putting in a backup catcher to save some legs, sending out a kid to bunt. And so I do think it is a necessary key to have a deep bench. Doesn't necessarily have to mean talented bench, but if you're running out 15, 16 kids versus 10 or 11 kids, I'm going to side with that team any day of the week.
Definitely.
Well, let's say this. You can only throw it out on the field at the same time. So I kind of side with David here, but I think the most important thing in baseball is dugout chatter, obviously. So your bench has got to be vocally strong, I would say.
You bring up an excellent point there. I completely forgot about that. I'll go absolutely fair because just at that point alone.
Our next fair or foul, kind of on the same lines of bench, that kind of thing. Everyone in high school, you normally have a 1 and 2 guy, then your third starter sometimes gets to play. So would you want your third pitcher to be your third start, or your third best pitcher, to be your third starter, or would you like to save him as a reliever? David, what do you think?
Well, in the games that I'm playing 2 games, or the weeks that I'm playing 2 games, I'm going to leave my 2 starters to cover those 2 games, and then the closer, the third starter, to kind of finish hopefully those 2 games, pending we have the lead. That's the ideal situation I'm going to set up. And then when we get to a 3-game situation, or for instance a Lions tournament situation, I'm going to put that guy back at starter, and then use one of my other bullpen guys to probably cover some of the slack.
I'm going to say foul. I don't really believe in the concept of a closer. I think it is kind of a misnomer to say that this kid has to be a closer, this kid has to be a starter. I think that arms get overworked, over-evaluated at the high school level. I'm of the belief that you just send out kids until they're not effective anymore. So if I've got 3 really good starters, I've got 3 really good starters. If I've got 7 kids that can only go 1 inning, I've only got 7 kids that can go 1 inning. So I'm not going to form a rubric that says this kid has to go be my 3rd starter because he's my 3rd best pitcher, or this kid has to be my closer because he fits into this and that slot. So I'm going to say completely foul on this. You got to just build it off of who's healthy at the time and who can go that very day.
I kind of like a little bit of stability in the bullpen. I don't mind holding that 3rd guy off. I don't know, the 3rd best pitcher, maybe he gets to play more games because, like you said, there's not always 3 games at the start make him feel comfortable in that role. Get him used to coming out of the bullpen. It's a tough role. A role that's normally meant for guys. We talked about the long ball earlier. Guys who hit the long ball, first baseman. So, Dave, who are your top first basemen in San Diego?
Cool. I've got 5 guys here. Leonard Jones, junior at Eastlake, manning down that position. Saw those guys in my top 10. The guys are really playing well. Jesse Garcia, sophomore at Grossmont. I've got Grant Hilton. He's a senior at Del Norte. He also pitches. One of the biggest first basemen who's only a sophomore out of this list his name's Cade Brown over at Cathedral. This guy hits bombs. Chase Wesner is my last first baseman. He's over at Christian, and he's definitely one of the bigger guys also.
So my 3 guys that I'm going to add to that list: Jack Dashwood. I know Jack, pitcher, normally you get the hit. Also a great hitter. Big kid. Definitely. Big kid. Kid also hits
Big bombs.
Exactly, yeah. So I got Jack on this list. I got Dylan Strom, another kid who's a very good pitcher. A lot of these guys, they're left-handed, they can pitch too. Dylan, great player, going to go to Nevada. If you saw on the TV show, he told us he's never gotten a B before. Ever. Very impressive. And then the last kid, we talked about him earlier, Tevin from Patrick Henry, hitting 500. He's got 5 home runs, and he's going to Loyola Marymount next year. So congratulations on that commitment. And you are, I would say, probably the surprise player of the county, right? I mean, he was a good player. Everyone kind of knew about him, but hitting 500, 5 home runs, being one of the most effective hitters in San Diego.
Yeah,
Starts to separate himself a little bit.
Oh, yeah. So, guys, do you have anything you want to add before we head out for this week and on next week?
I'm going to be at Petco next week on Monday watching games, so you'll see some highlights from that next week.
We're into league now. We're into the back half of the season, so some of these early season matchups of big versus little fringe games are over. It's into rivalry games. It's into a lot of the fun matchups. So it's going to be interesting to see if some of the teams that have surprised us in either direction, good or bad, right the ship, fall apart. I think there's a couple potential really interesting plot lines for some league races that are going to start to develop. So a lot of fun stuff to watch in the last month and a half here. Yeah,
and I would say this too. A lot of these teams are really, really close. When we're making the top 10 list, it's really hard because there's about 15 teams that could be anywhere from 6 to 10. So it's been awesome covering baseball this season. A lot of great talent, and we look forward to coming back and talking to you next week.